Hi. Hey. Hello.
And now, our feature presentation.
It's Sunny, and we've got a fun film on our hands for today's discussion. This is one of those films that is so iconic that even to this day, it's still quoted, remembered, and revisited daily for just how innovative and original it truly is. Even kids in this era know of this film or may not even realize it through scenes and quotes familiarized on the internet. Let's cut to the fucking chase and get geeky over this cinematic masterpiece of the indie scene. Before being legendary filmmakers, Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avary composed a short film, only to decide that due to the nature of nobody producing shorts, they conceptualized a trilogy, before eventually taking each written section from Tarantino, Avary, and a never-third writer into one feature-length script. The initial inspiration for the script was that of the three-part horror anthology film, Black Sabbath, directed by Mario Bava, with the script being titled Black Mass after the hard-boiled crime fiction magazine. Tarantino eventually released his directorial debut, Reservoir Dogs, as Avary created the basis for the Golden Watch storyline for Pulp Fiction. With Reservoir Dogs completed, Tarantino returned to Pulp Fiction with the ideal direction in mind, taking the approach of novelists rather than filmmakers and detailing three separate stories with the notion of recurring characters having impact on the events. Taking the idea of reviving basic movie characters, genre characters, and genre situations to whole new purposes and have a whole new fresh coat of paint all over it. Eventually finalizing the script in Amsterdam, Tarantino and Avary took concepts and ideas from many personal influential works and their other works in the making, completing the script and releasing what is one of the all-time classics in cinema. Where do I even begin with everything spectacular about this film? I can make an entire video alone just discussing the filmmaking mastery behind this movie, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The cinematography by Andrzej Sekula does a wonderful job at really stylizing almost every single second of Pulp Fiction's duration, providing the most cinematic shots to the most basic of moments. A great example is the tracking shot here following Butch. It's just him walking, but it feels so immersive. Another example is that the camera really entices every single conversation that every character beholds to each other, really letting us sink into their discussion and add detail to their mannerisms.
And what do they call it?
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
That's right.
What do they call a Big Mac?
Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac.
Le Big Mac.
Don't you hate that?
Hey, what?
Uncomfortable silences. Why do we feel it's necessary to yak about bullshit in order to be comfortable?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's when you know you found somebody really special.
The color grading, framing, and lighting is so spectacular. Again, like every other area of the visuals, it just really adds such flavor and the right kind of vibes to every second of this movie. I could say the same with the sound design too and overall licensed score. It's very difficult for a film to pick the right music and really make it add style rather than feel forced in, but here Pulp Fiction really makes it work to its backdrop. The sound design is also superb in mixing up the background music, vocal delivery, and overall sound cues at just the perfect timing. The California backdrop and overall production design is great. I am obsessed with the California atmosphere, and this film perfectly emulates that by being so grounded and letting the characters live through their day-to-day lives within it. Every other aspect is also perfect. Since the film is shot out of order, never once do you feel a continuity error is present. Rather, it enhances everything when you really pay attention, which also brings up that the editing is by far the film's biggest achievement, but that's for later. Even though this is the only Tarantino film I have watched, it really has me hooked on his style with his very oddly cozy appeal to an otherwise dark crime thriller, a pulpy fun, cocky humorous pop-filled vibe that is just oozing with energy, charisma, and such banger filmmaking artistic flair. Time to analyze the star-studded cast of both performers and characters. Let's get it out of the way. Everybody is a fucking star in this movie. And I mean everybody. Yes, even you, Static.
Tell me that doesn't give chest pain a new...
Oh, what the fuck's happening? Oh,
man,
shit, man.
Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Why the fuck you do that?
John Travolta is always funny and charming. Uma Thurman is... Uma Thurman, come on, just goodness gracious. Vig Rhames is the fucking GOAT. You don't want to fuck with him, I'll tell you that much. Bruce Willis is always a pleasure to watch on screen. Even the rest of the more minor cast really give the performances their all. Of course though, the motherfucking GOAT, Samuel goddamn L motherfucking Jackson, is the MVP. I know people make that joke all the time about how this dude is in every single movie ever, but like, why are y'all complaining? This motherfucker pops up and he turns the movie from a 10 out of 10 to 50 out of 10, and it's no different here. This is the prime example as to how much perfection he gives to his roles.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
The dialogue is so superb. Like said earlier, this film is very line heavy and focused in on the normal conversations between these gangsters and such. And it has so much humanity and truth to it. This is shit any human be talking about, and it's shown constantly throughout the film.
Look, you want to play blind man, go walk with a shepherd, but me, my eyes are wide fucking open.
Don't you fucking realize, man, that if Bonnie comes home and finds a dead body in her house, I'm gonna get divorced? All right, no marriage counseling, no trial separation. I'm gonna get fucking divorced, okay? And I don't want to get fucking divorced.
Jules, did you ever hear the philosophy that once a man admits that he is wrong, that he is immediately forgiven for all wrongdoings? Have you ever heard that?
Get the fuck out my face with that shit. The motherfucker said that shit never had to pick up itty-bitty pieces of skull on account of your dumb ass.
That's what I always say. I'm always right, too.
But you forget about it in a day or two.
Yeah, well, the days of me forgetting are over. The days of me remembering have just begun.
Yeah, but do you consider a dog to be a filthy animal?
I wouldn't go so far as to call a dog filthy, but they're definitely dirty. But dogs got personality. Personality goes the wrong way.
Don't fucking talk to me that way, man.
If my answers frighten you, Vincent, then you should cease asking scary questions.
Causing problems. You'll get us all killed. Give them what you got and get them out of here.
Shut the fuck up, fat man. This ain't none of your goddamn business.
See, this business is filled to the brim with unrealistic motherfuckers. Motherfuckers who thought their ass would age like wine. If you mean it turns to vinegar, it does. If you mean it gets better with age, it don't. Fuck pride. Pride only hurts. It never helps.
God damn, it's a pretty fucking good milkshake.
Told you.
I don't know if it was worth $5, but it was pretty fucking good.
Generally, every character is so well written. I love Mia Wallace's very truthful and down-to-earth demeanor, Vincent's very straightforward playfulness, Butch's very well-meaning nature, but hard-headed attitude, and of course Jules being my personal favorite. This gangster with such a high concept of philosophy, no bullshit, and self-determination that is just so rich and personally hitting for me. This film works amongst the crime genre for portraying these characters as still human. No matter how hard of a criminal they may be, they are still human beings no different from the ordinary Joe, who are not superior to anyone due to their status and go through typical crazy shit like anyone does, and that works in this film's masterful nature. It all works because of the ageless script by Tarantino and Avery. What makes the storytelling of Pulp Fiction so special is Tarantino's overall direction that really makes this film such a cinematic gem. It's a deconstruction of fiction by taking these typical tropes and archetypes and giving us something unfamiliar. Every single storyline in the film has a typical setup within every storyline in this film, only to go the complete opposite, unpredictable direction and going crazy with it in every layer. Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife presenting a gangster comforting his boss's wife, only for it to go south. The gold watch showing a target getting stuck in a crazy situation, and the Bonnie situation enduring the spiritual philosophy of a hitman. They all take a highly contextualized examination upon these tropes, and it all means something. Even the minor diner storyline plays a part, starting off with a crazy couple trying to rob a restaurant, and it ends with them changed into better people. The whole film pays homage to cinema and fiction, while also comforting into absurd, batshit crazy shit with its stories, then settle into the basic, seen before stuff that is more realistic. Morality is such a big thing in terms of how it reflects upon the characters, how Jules and Vincent argue over their stances as gangsters, how Butch is bent on saving himself and his wife, only to go back and save Marcellus, and despite being a criminal, Vincent has a nice time with Mia being human, even going out of his way to save her, both as a job, and a part of me likes to think out of pure respect and friendship. Fate plays a part particularly in my favorite story with Jules and Vince, how Jules debates what should have been their deaths as a miracle, and ends the film a changed man with a new outlook, surviving, whilst Vince sees it as a random occurrence, and ends the film getting killed by Butch. How their argument depicts the idea of whether life is all planned out, or everything is just a random act of occurrence. The whole film is just so marvelous in presenting style over substance, while still containing such substance. Even the editing is a huge part in this. How presenting the film out of order really gets anyone, even casual viewers, to want to analyze everything. Timing plays a part in how random life can be just in 2 days and provides context to things not informed before across the film, feeling like one concise circle when the film starts and ends. The overall theme of Pulp Fiction is that there is no theme. Just a movie that breaks the rules to give us a real taste of what cinema should and always be. Masterful, cinematic filmmaking with truly deepening characters and a story with no fucks given, and wanting to deliver a truly impactful picture. I hope that's all I needed to say about this movie, and for you to understand not only my thoughts, not even just explain your feelings, but explore why this film is such an iconic phenomenon all these decades later. A motion picture that is my kind of drift, one that doesn't give a fuck about settling in for what we've seen before, into a film that is truly influential in style, writing, and persona. Pulp Fiction, more like peak fiction to me, I say, and I bet your ass agrees with me too. It's been Sunny, and so long, farewell, and goodbye.